Hello and welcome to Sassy Scrapbooking. In this video I'm going to take you step by step through my process of creating this super easy Peacock pop-up card. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now in the Cricut design space I've already imported the images that I'm going to be using, and the images that I chose are from the Simple Pop-Up Cards cartridge. And the specific image I'm going to be using is the Peacock pop-up card, and that's number M222AAE. I'm going to be cutting my envelope out of a sheet of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 11. That being said, my envelope height cannot exceed 10.5 inches, so that you have the 1/4 inch on each side for cutting. I'm actually going to cut my envelope at 10.25 inches in height, but the way that the images are set up, where the envelope is slightly higher than the Peacock images, I would not get a correct measurement if I left all three images grouped together. So the first step is to resize the images. Then, with all the images still selected, I'm going to ungroup the images so that I can move the two Peacock images up, just so that they are within the top and bottom space of the envelope. Then, selecting all the images, I'm going to group them together again. I want to ensure that they are all grouped together again before I do any resizing. Since I'm using an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, I'm going to resize the height of all my images to 10.25 inches. Let's go ahead and send the images to the map preview screen. In the map preview screen, I always like to double check the images and maybe move them around a bit to maximize the usage of space on my cardstock. Everything looks good. I just need to make sure that I place the scoring tool into slot A on the Cricut Explorer machine before I start cutting. Just an FYI, for this particular card, prior to placing the cardstock on the cutting mat, I placed 2 strips of double-sided tape onto the cardstock itself. Then I let the Cricut Explorer cut the tape and the cardstock at the same time. Now, before removing the cutting mat from the Cricut Explorer, I did press the cut button one more time to let the Cricut Explorer cut the images a second time, just to make sure that the cut went through both the tape and the cardstock. Next, I'm going to go ahead and set the envelope image aside, and taking the background of the Peacock image, I'm going to fold along the score line. With the double-sided tape on the cardstock, it is easier to see the score line on the tape side of the image than it is on the back side of the cardstock. So with that in mind, I'm folding the image so that the tape sides meet. Later, I'm going to have to invert the fold to make the Peacock image pop out. Next, I'm removing the paper layer of the double-sided tape from the wing portion of the Peacock. I'm going to be using blue and green glitter with just a little bit of purple for this part of the Peacock. For this process, I'm going to start with the green glitter, and I'm just going to sprinkle it around all over the feathers. I'm not really concerned about the overall coverage at this point. I just want to make sure that there is green glitter scattered throughout this section of the image. Then, using my fingertips, I'm just going to push down on the glitter and kind of spread it around so that it sticks to the double-sided tape. Again, at this point, I'm not really concerned about how much coverage I'm going to get with the green glitter. I'm going to do the same thing with the blue glitter. I'm just going to sprinkle it around on all the feathers, and then when I'm done with that, I'm going to push down with my fingertip and kind of spread the glitter around. Now it's time to add the purple glitter. I just want to note here that the purple glitter that I'm using is not a fine glitter. The blue and the green, I did use fine glitter, but the purple is a little bigger, it's a little coarser. And I wanted to do this because this is what's going to fill in all the parts that aren't covered with the green and the blue. Once again, using my fingertips, I'm going to press in the glitter and spread it around as I move around all the different feathers. Now this is where I want to make sure that in spreading the glitter around that I'm spreading it and covering all the blank spaces. I don't want to leave any shiny tape showing. I want it all covered with the glitter, and to help me do that I'm going to turn it upside down and I'm going to press it down into the glitter that is remaining on the paper. Of course, now this glitter, it's all mixed up with blues, greens, and purples, so you won't be able to pour those back into your glitter bottles, but you can create a new glitter bottle that has these colors in them. At this point, I want to look it over to make sure that I don't have any exposed tape, and if I do have any, I want to make sure that I spread some more glitter on it and press it down so that it adheres to the double-sided tape. Alright, so now I still have the body and the head of the peacock, and to cover those spaces I'm going to add just a little bit more of the green, the blue, and the purple glitter to my little pile. I'm going to spread it out, then I'm going to remove the paper backing of the double-sided tape and basically just turn the image face down and press it into the glitter to make sure that I get good coverage all over the peacock and the head of the peacock. Alright, so now is the time when I'm going to invert the crease. Remember, I originally had it folded inward so that the tape ends meet. Now that I've got the glitter on, I want to go ahead and invert it so that the peacock body pops out. And once that's done, I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue to the feathers of the peacock. I'm not going to add any glue to the body of the peacock because that's what's going to stand out away from the card. Now I'm only going to add liquid glue to half of the peacock's feathers. This will make it easier to attach the front of the peacock, the part with the glitter, to the backing. To attach the peacock to the backing, I'm going to match the curve of the outside feathers of the peacock to the backing cardstock curves and then press down. So all the feathers are going to press down into the backing, but since there's no glue on the peacock or the body of the peacock itself, it's going to be loose. Now you are going to see the feathers from the other side stick out. That's no problem. It's supposed to do this. Now using the score line on the edge of the peacock body, flip the peacock feathers from the other side over so that the back of the cardstock is exposed. And using some more liquid glue, I'm going to add it to the remaining feathers. Now flipping the peacock feathers back over and matching the curves from the feathers to the curves of the backing, press down on the peacock feathers so that it is attached to the backing, and your peacock should be done. The center or the body of the peacock will pop out while the feathers remain pushed down, and as you fold the card in half, you have a peacock pop-up card. At this point, all that's remaining is to complete the envelope. To complete the envelope, all you need to do is go ahead and fold along the score lines, add some liquid glue along the side edges of the large bottom flap before bringing the flap over to meet the side edges of the envelope, and the envelope has been completed. At this time, I would like to take one more moment of your time and thank you for watching my video at Sassy Scrapbooking. Please subscribe to my channel and watch my other videos. I will continue to add new videos as my adventures with the Cricut Explorer continue. Bye for now.